Hi, hello, my name is Gabrielle, and today we're going to go really quickly into Arcane because at the time of recording this, the finale dropped 2 days ago, and I want to talk about it before it's not relevant anymore. So hi! For those who don't know, I've been a fan of League of Legends for a long time. I started playing, I think, when lmao came out, so like 2014, I believe, and I always really liked the universe of League more than I liked the gameplay. Like, I play quite frequently because at this point it's like a ritual, but it's not my favorite game by any means. Like, I really love the universe though. So when Riot announced an animated TV show, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be great because I know League of Legends stories. I am an avid consumer of Necrit and TV Sky and here on YouTube's content, which are often talking about the lore, and it's really what's interesting. I think that Riot's writers are really good at building a solid world. So I was really excited for Arcane when it was announced, and boy, did they fucking deliver. So in this video, I'm gonna go really quickly. As you can see, I talk really fast. I'm in mid-session completely. I'm also writing the Heather's video cell. I'm having a time. But dude, if you've not watched Arcane by now, what are you doing? Go on right now. Doesn't matter if you like Riot or League of Legends or not. My best friends, who quite frankly hate League, really enjoyed Arcane because it is that good. So go on and let's start with my reviews. Act 1 dropped 3 weeks ago and it was incredible. Act 1, I am the kind of person who loves Acts 1 usually. Like, I am a lot of content I consume, I end up like really loving the first act and like the setting and stuff because I really like world building. And often the way that when I watch content, the way it goes is that I really like the setting, so Act 1, and then Act 2 is just okay and Act 3 is disappointing. Usually that's how it goes. But Arcane had I don't know how they did it, but they made Act 3 just as interesting as Act 1. But let's start from the beginning. So it's the story of Vi and Jinx, Powder in Act 1. And I love them. Jinx is the reason why I got into League of Legends in the first place. I always loved her design. I was a big avid fan of Harley Quinn in like the early 2010 because I was a child, and I really loved her. Yeah, I started playing because I wanted to see her. I wanted to play as her, so she has a very special place in my heart. And Vi is also a character that I really love. Piltover and Zaun, if I'm completely honest, is not my favorite region. Mine would probably be Targon because I just think that Targon and Celestial, it's so cool, but also like my book and my stories and what I write and what I'm interested in is always Celestial, so of course I love Targon, but that's beside the point. So yeah, Piltover and Zaun, and this show it's only Piltover and the Undercity of Piltover, and as children they are Undercities. They are having issues because their parents died in what is assumed to be a civil war. They're under Render's side, and Act 1 was so good at exploring Powder and Vi's relationship. So the way they explore Vi and Jinx throughout the entire show is so good. But in Act 1, I think the relationship is really interesting in the way that like Powder is kind of like fucks things up on accident, and Vi is really protective of her until Jinx fucks things up too hard. I think Vi was a child and so was Powder, so I don't have any like grudge against them. I think that Vi was under a lot of emotion, but I think it is unfair to say that Jinx killed everyone, because no matter what happened, Silco would have killed everyone. So in my eyes, Powder saved Vi, but the first act was just immaculate. I loved it. I was so excited. The animation blew me over. If y'all don't know, again, I am in animations, and so I love learning about animation. I'm mostly a 2D animator, but I really like 3D modeling and texturing. Like, I don't like actually animating. I'm a little secret, I'm also like this in 2D. I love more the pre-prod, the post-prod, the like making a universe come together than the actual animating. But this animation was so cool. If you really like animation, I suggest taking any of the fight scenes and watch them in like 0.5 speed on Netflix, because you see how they played with the models and how they played with the lattices and how they made sure that like everything was stretched, and then you see that they added 2D fucking lines. They added fucking 2D movement lines with the punches and shit. It's crazy. I This show, it's immaculate. It's incredible. I love it so much. The animation blew me away. The models, immaculate. The character design, so good. Act 2 came in, and Act 2 was actually my least favorite. It was really, really good. I really love Jinx's place in part 2. And I also really like, okay, Jace is a character that I don't like at all. He's just annoying. He's just like, I understand his character. I like what his character does in the story, but everything around Jace is a lot more interesting than what Jace actually is and represents. So, but everything around him, including Victor and Mel, was just so cool. Mel is such an interesting character that I hope they flesh out more, whether by her or by her relatives, depending how season 2 goes. And yeah, so there was like a very nice, incredible, immaculate, never the same, never done before. Act 2 was really strong on politics, which I really like in my media. Honestly, I like when the media not only has a cohesive world, but a cohesive politics to go in the world, because it's an important part of our world, and I think it should be as important in there. So yeah, Act 2 was really, really cool on that. I also really like Caitlyn and Vi's relationship. They are girlfriends, that's it. And I thought it was really, really cool to like not even hint at it. Like, they didn't say they were actually girlfriends, except Jinx says in Act 3. And like, it's not even coded at this point. They are kissing when the camera's off. So yeah, their relationship was really interesting. And Silco and Jinx's was as well. Surprisingly, Silco and Jinx were really, really interesting and fucked up in a really fun way. I've seen a lot of people complain about Silco's and Jinx like touchy feeling, mostly when she like puts a needle in his eye. And I get it. The first time I wasn't comfortable as well, but I think that's the point. I think it's the point to see that these two people don't know how to show affection, because they never really were in a place where they were able to. So they're fucked up together, basically. And I think their relationship is really, really interesting. And then Act 3 came in, and I was fucking blown away. The first episode is all about Vi and Caitlyn discovering the Undercity, and going around and like seeing what Echo did, which Echo's design is so good. I love Echo so much. I've always did, but like this hair they did on Echo was so good. The design, Fortiche Production did such a good job on this, everything. And yeah, then he explained like what he did this whole time, and then they go upstate. And Caitlyn gets shot, so does Echo, and Jinx explodes. But yeah, so yeah, that's what happened in the first episode of Act 3 on these side. But also we are introduced to the Chem Barons, which I was really excited to, and I think Finn is such a cool design as well. I really like character design. Finn, immaculate. And then we see more of the underside politics, which is really interesting as well. Then episode 2 goes into Jinx recovery, and then episode 2 is kind of like the setting point for the last episode. So it's like the quote-unquote most boring of them all. Except the fight scene with Jace and Vi at the end was so cool. It was so good. Also we see Mel's mother, and then we go into like the Noxus territory, which I was really excited about because I like exploring more than Piltover. I thought that was really interesting. Mel's mother is a weird ass character. I don't know if I want to see more, if I want her to die. I have a prediction that she's probably gonna be a champion. Like, I'd say when season 2 come out, she's probably gonna be coming out as well, because like she has a really cool character. And in episode 3, the character that I really think is the next, if not the next, the other next champion will be Savika. That's just a personal, that's what I think, because she's really cool. The Savika Vi fight scene was really, really cool. Then the finale, the last 20 minutes of Arcane is a masterpiece. The last 20 minutes of Arcane is a fucking masterpiece. It is incredible. It's so good. So the dinner party where they bring everybody back, and then Jinx kills everybody that she's killed before. So metaphorically, she kills Milo. Then she asks Vi to kill her quote-unquote girlfriend, which is Caitlyn, and then fails to. Then Caitlyn gets liberated. Jinx does a very cool move that goes by in like less than 20 frames. She like comes in, and this sequence is so cool. And then Caitlyn gets knocked out. Jinx has a moment, kills Silco by accident. cries the death of Silco. Silco manipulates her until he dies, which is really fucked up. Also, by the way, Jinx got that fucked up because of Singed. I forgot to mention that was a whole point in episode 2, but Singed pumped her up with so many drugs, and it was so cool. And then Victor was also, like, Victor's whole storyline was really, really good. Victor was surprisingly, like, the best character of the show. I really, really liked him and his storyline. And finally, in the dinner, after everything goes to shit, Caitlyn is knocked over, Silco is dead, Jinx chooses to accept her Jinx self, and Vi cannot move. Jinx decides that she chose her future. Meanwhile, at the Piltover Council, they decide that Zaun deserves to be independent, and as they decide to do so, Jinx fires Fishbones and her bomb, and the last frame of the show is the bomb reflecting on broken glass on Mel's back. It is so good. And then immediately after season 2 was announced, also there was we saw Warwick's shadow and Singed lab, and then Warwick's theme, like Hunt theme, played in the season 2 trailer. So I'm really excited about this. I hope it's more of a thriller. Oh yeah, that was just a selfless video. I needed a break from homework to talk about my favorite show of 2021. It was so fucking good. I'm gonna give the whole show a 10 out of 10. Yes, there are stuff that could be changed. It's not perfect. It's a 10 out of 10. I don't care. So yeah, I hope you like the pieces I drew in the background. They're all like Jinx through the story, because I think that's just like really cool. Thanks for coming a lot. It was a pleasure. I hope you watch Arcane. I hope you have fun with season 2. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start doing more League content just because their character designs are really, really cool. One idea I have is just to like draw a random champion and either draw a fan art of it, either a redesign of it, or skin, maybe. We'll see. I am just having fun at this point. So thanks a lot, have a nice day, and you can find me everywhere on the screen or in the description. Have a nice day!